we're going to move on now to our second presentation this morning, which is from Dave Fletcher, who is Business Growth Director at One Consulting. Over to you, Dave.
Okay, just one thing to say, it's a high level presentation this, and I've got to admit I'm not used to being brief, so unfortunately that might have resulted in one or two rather busy slides, but here we go anyway. I'll try and keep it down to about 6 or 7 minutes, so that's my challenge. I introduced myself earlier, but my name's Dave Fletcher, and my official title is Business Growth and Portfolio Director. And this is the first of the video socials that I've joined, but enjoying it, really enjoying it so far. It's proved really good, and listening to everybody's comments and what they're up to has been really interesting. But I guess I wanted to start with a question, but of course, not knowing what was going on, I didn't know I'd be able to see everybody. But I guess the question's still pertinent, because I can only see your top half. So is anybody still in the pajamas? Well, no, there's shaking heads. Well, the reason I'm asking is Kaspersky did a global report once we went into lockdown and we've got home working, and of course they had motives for this, but what they found was this: 48% of people enjoyed working in more comfortable clothes. So David Hannon, that's you, because you've already said that today. So in fact, yeah, I think you mentioned that you put a shirt on for the first time. I'm not going to ask who's done the next one, but 36% have taken an afternoon nap. Hopefully you won't be taking one right now when I bore you, so I will keep it going quickly. 27% have said they enjoyed working outside in the garden or on a balcony, and I think lots of us did that early on, especially in the pandemic when we went into full lockdown, but luckily we're given some good weather. But would you believe 23% actually admitted to managing to binge watch Netflix at work? I'm not going to say anything about the next one. I'm just going to put it up there on the screen for you. So what's the motive? And the motive is this, and you know, we're coming from a consultancy point of view here, but Kaspersky is sort of saying, look, you've got to remember to take care of your digital security. You know, ensure your workers are staying safe no matter where they're located. And of course, agility is something that we're working with quite a number of our clients on. And of course, prevents any valuable business data from being stolen. So although I tried to give us a bit of a bite at the start, there was a point to that slide. So who are One Consulting? I'm not going to read everything. You can probably see it yourself, but actually, we previously traded as Elysium for about 5 years. So we're well-established consultancy within the housing sector. And I think we've got some strong foundational pillars of ideas, people, and expertise and experience. And really, that's pretty much what a consultancy is. You are your people, the innovation you bring with your ideas, perhaps the expertise you've got from your experience. And that pretty much, in 3 words, is where consultancies get their value. I think on top of that, the actual values that we live to are around care, delivery, and trusting. And that care element is, interestingly, because I've come from financial services where care is a bit of an alien word, but within not-for-profit and housing, it actually does mean something. And it's caring both about our clients, but most importantly about their customers as well, which I've seen with my colleagues whilst I've been here. We're proud to have our heritage from Elysium Consulting, but we did transition to One Consulting. And what I think we've done is we've blended the best of Elysium, its people, its standing in the housing sector, but we're now offering quite a wider range of consultancy services to our clients. And whilst we are technology and vendor agnostic, we do work extremely hard with our partners or suppliers to ensure that we've got strong vendor relationships across quite a multitude of products and technologies to ensure that we are giving the right consultancy, the right advice, the right options. And we do this quite proactively. We've got a scheduled, calendarized list of speaking to suppliers and horizon scanning. We ensure that the deployment we give of the solutions that we recommend is business savvy. So what type of consultants we've got? Well, we've got subject matter experts who, as I said, scan the horizon, but they're looking at business applications, so home management systems, asset management, repairs, it might be ICT, infrastructure, telephony, data, service delivery, governance, the list goes on, I guess. And just a quick sort of view of our team. As I said earlier, only a small team, mainly 10 of us. We do have 1 or 2 associate transformation consultants we seek to work with when specific clients need their expertise that we might not have in-house. And just specifically about me, as I said, I joined in 2020 in September, so just 3 months. Prior to that, I'd spent 20 years in leadership roles in UK financial services, 8 of which I was telling David in our breakout group were with BNP Paribas Personal Finance as the sales director. I spent the last 4 years as a consultant myself, and I am refreshed by the approach that I've seen in the housing sector. One of the points David put on, the little phrases he used on his slide, I think it was the 3rd one along to the right, it said, doing the right thing. So that's where I see housing, doing the right thing, whereas where I've come from, we had the Financial Conduct Authority who made us do things right. And I think that's the difference. Financial services, do things right. Housing sector, not for profit, do the right thing. And I think that's the difference to me that I've seen. So what exactly is it that we do? Well, I haven't got time to go through this. And in fact, if this was an onion, you peel the skin off and we've got lots of layers underneath this to tell you about what we do. But of course, it's probably often said best by one of our clients. So I've just got a couple of snippets to brag about here, I guess. Salix Homes, they provided invaluable support from the early stages of the project when we were considering the different technology and service delivery options right through to turning it into reality. And Chris Henry is the IT manager there. We've recently done some work with Aspire Housing, and they were talking about our expertise in the sector, how we've exceeded their expectations, and how on top of that, and I guess you'd see it in this bottom left-hand corner of our wheel, we've done a lot of work with them around leadership developing and coaching and mentoring. In fact, we continue to do some of that mentoring now. But that's the type of thing that we do. So what do we do? Well, it's a bit like building a house. So I'm going to try and give you an analogy here, and I hope it works. So the first thing you do when you're building a house is you build the foundations. So if that's digital transformation, it's about ensuring that the infrastructure that you've got is capable of satisfying your future needs. And that will give you the stability and the performance on which to build your house or your digital transformation. So we've got the analogies going along. I've got a door on the house now. That's my applications, and it's going to give me some agility. If I add some downstairs windows, that might be the data that your digital transformation is bringing in, and that goes towards service provision. And of course, data helps, and many people are trying to deliver this now, data-driven data decision-making, and that's hard for me to say. But the next level, we've got some windows, so we can really see now, and that's the insights and the interventions and the service design. And of course, I felt that was relevant to this group, because that's in the way that we've just seen on the last presentation, service design and the way that interventions can take place, and the housing model, I guess, of the future, it's going to be a lot different. And to me, I think people might need to look at the digital strategy. Transformation comes through things like the Internet of Things, AI, and that's my little analogy of building a house and what it looks like for digital transformation. I hope that works. But I'll keep going at speed as I have been doing. So where do we do it? The main body of our work is totally within social housing. But as we try to broaden the scope of where we're involved with our clients now, the related sectors, so you'll notice financial services isn't on here, because I don't think that's exactly the best move for us right at the moment, but going into health, into care, local government, we're already making some good strides there. Charitable work, we've worked with a number of clients in charity already, but education, key workers, and private landlords and construction. That's where we see ourselves spreading out to, but all, I guess, related to social housing. So, thought to myself, well, what will the social housing home of the future look like? And we've just seen it on the slides from David and Rebecca, because actually I think connectivity was in your yellow circle, which is standard for you guys at Rooftop. If we're going to talk about smart homes, then how would a consultancy like One Consulting help? Well, so I've got my house here, and I don't really need to tell you what the benefits are. I mean, I've just listed a few, but there's lots and lots. I guess the model is about making it work. And interestingly, from my short tenure within this sector, it looks to me like many of the pilots so far have been mainly around single use cases. And I think what we can do is we can work with you towards full-scale deployment. So whatever your current and future uses are, but multiple current and future uses. And obviously, our forte is designing a data strategy and working with you on your technology. I think importantly, what we're going to be able to give you, and I think one of the things it might not have got to where it needs to be, if I use that term loosely, is about clarity of vision and how the residents' demands may change, coupled together with the roadmaps of innovative suppliers. So lots of suppliers that we talk to, and I talked about keeping our product knowledge relevant, but lots of suppliers now are building in their roadmaps, IoT, AI, all kinds of developments to give you the ability to make your homes smarter. And it's that clarity of vision that I think we can help with strategically, working with you to really transform what smart homes might be. Of course, if you're using smart homes and what it gives you through IoT, then you're going to get further business insights. Your reporting is going to be really insightful and show you some things that maybe none of us can even predict right now. We can work with you on system design. We can help you, of course, move that step along and actually work with you on the procurement, which we've got a couple of projects going on as we speak. And it's important that we align them with your anticipated future requirements. Nobody can see with a crystal ball, but whatever you anticipate, we'll work with you on it and build it into your strategy. And of course, if you are working in smart homes, then much of what you're going to do, once you've got that information, once you've employed your smart home technology, you'll maybe need to change your workflows, and certainly there's going to be an element of process redesign. So to me, I guess connectivity is going to be the enabler, but strategically, you need to be able to set yourself a path where you can realize those benefits. So what are we working on at the moment? Just one or two things I quickly picked up from our LinkedIn feed. So if anybody's not LinkedIn with us, I'd love it if you follow us. But you'll have seen one of the Greater Manchester Combined Authority Digital Inclusion Task Force, and that was the kick-off meeting last week. The reason I'm here today, we're a stakeholder within Housing Digital, and One of the events we put on recently was working together with women in social housing, where we sponsored an event to talk about career development. And I think I'd mentioned earlier in the work that we did with Aspire, there was a lot of mentoring involved in that piece. And two of the ladies that benefited from that were on this Wish Women in Social Housing webinar last week. And our strategic advisor, we just made a bit of an announcement that we've got Kath Green. I don't know if anybody knows Kath, but she's worked within local government for 27 years, and I think gives us an edge to lots of inside thoughts about what might be going on within regulatory and higher authority. So to sum up, I like to think we're a dynamic consultancy business with a difference, but I guess I'm the sales director, so I would say that. But what we do, I truly believe that we enable and empower our clients to truly transform the use of modern working practices where people, processes, and technologies are all aligned. So, welcome to a world of connected consulting. That's it from me.
Well, thanks, Dave. We've not got much longer, but any quick question? A quick question for Dave, anybody? Yep, Liam.
Don't make it a difficult one, Liam. I'm only new.
I'll try not to. Yeah, I was just wondering if you've seen a shift in the kind of things your clients are concerned about, or the issues they want to solve since the onset of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, there are some common themes. So David was mentioning earlier that he feels health and safety is the main priority, particularly maybe of the group of people who are on now. Whereas, of course, because of our involvement generally being around digital transformation, that main area, I guess, is sort of related to my first slide. The main area is about agility. The second area that people are looking to do is maybe not step fully into a world of cloud, but go halfway and get the best use of the existing investment they've made in the current systems, but couple it with some new technology and build from a foundation up. So I guess the reason I showed you that slide about building the house and then working on digital transformation, I think it's important that people go back to making sure they've got sound foundations and building it through. So to answer your question, a lot of the focus seems to be on what people want to see as the end result, which is the wonderful insight they're going to get and the way that they're going to change their interventions and make them more efficient. But what people are having to take on board, I guess, or concentrate on is building from the ground up and building an infrastructure that's sound, and then building their applications on top of that, and then using the data and eventually achieving transformation around IoT or AI. Is that a decent enough answer?
I think so. Yeah. Thanks, David.
Well, thanks, David.